Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the MacArthur Center. At this time, we ask that you please turn your attention to the playing of our national anthem. Now let's make the starting lineups for this afternoon's game. Beginning first with the starting five for the visitors from the University of Tampa. The 5'5" junior from Naples, Florida, number 1, Maya Gusto. The 6'3" senior from Caron, Ohio, number 2, Sydney Kippen. A 5'7" junior from Boca Raton, Florida, number 5, Audrey Ramsey. A 5'5" junior from Mason, Ohio, number 15, Sarah Jones. And a 5'11" senior from Bartow, Florida, number 24, Malia Sullivan. The Spartans are coached by Tom Jesse. Associate head coach is Caitlin Mitchell. Assistant coaches Connie Jones and Elena Villalfredo. And now let's meet the starting five for your Eckerd College Triton. A 5'8" junior from our youth of Sweden, number 2, Sophia.
Oh my God. This is crazy.
A 5'9" sophomore from Auckland, New Zealand, number 5, Hannah Wentworth. A 5'9" junior out of Parkridge, Illinois, number 10,
We're on already?
All
right, this is fun.
A 5'3" junior from Savoie, France, number 11, Lauren Vieira. And a 6'2" junior from Bulgaria, Iceland, number 21, Rada Eckerd. Head coach of the Spartans in his 17th season.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Whoa, it's loud. To the Turley. I'm in the wrong place. We are in the MacArthur Center, not the Turley Athletic Complex, as we are just about ready to get underway in the battle of the top 2 teams in the Sunshine State Conference with the number 3 ranked Spartans of the University of Tampa and the number 7 ranked Tritons of Eckerd College. I'm John Armstrong. Nate March has now gotten out of traffic as well and is on his way up to the top here. He'll join us shortly. He'll take on the play-by-play duties as usual. These 5:30 starts sometimes can be a little difficult to get to. We'll set the starting lineups as we have the opportunity. Teams taking the floor. Eckerd, of course, are their home whites. We'll be going from right to left. Tampa in their road blacks with red numbers and letters and white trim. Einer's daughter set to jump it up. Insert center circle against Ken, and the tip is controlled by Tampa. And Nate, welcome here.
Thank you, John.
Number 7, Eckerd. Number 3, Tampa. And the Spartans strike first.
Didn't have a chance to set the starters, Nate. But for Eckerd, it's the usual 5 and Parshawn, Wentworth, Scales, Vieira, and Einer's daughter.
Vieira in underneath to not score. I'm about out of breath as some of our post-game guests are racing in here. I guess it's all the traffic to catch this top 10 matchup in the nation between the Spartans and the Tritons. Turnover forced by Eckerd. Out to the right side. There's a wide open look. 3 in the air. 3 in the net for Parshawn.
And of course, the first time these two teams met this season, it came down to a last-second shot. Tampa won that game. Eckerd now without Maya Price. So it'll be interesting to see how Eckerd defends Sydney Kin in the post. I think you'll see, Nate, what we just saw in that last possession. Eckerd's going to double quickly any touch she gets.
Yeah, it's interesting. Offensively, I don't think much changes for Eckerd because Tampa effectively forced Price out to the perimeter quite a bit in that game. Parshawn inside scores again. Meanwhile, as you said, on the defensive end, it's not as if the Tritons stopped Kin as it was in the first matchup. So I expect them to throw a lot into that effort here in their home matchup.
Yeah, I think Coach Honsinger's strategy is going to be try to take away, double team Kin anytime she gets a touch and see what you can do to take away the dribble drive. Didn't do it there, but see if you can make Tampa beat you from the mid-range. They're great at getting to the basket, though, on that dribble handoff. They're able to turn the corner. They're so athletic, they're really hard to guard off of that.
7-4, Eckerd leading Tampa. Tritons led the majority of the first matchup between these two teams. Of course, Tampa won on a buzzer beater at the end. Pull-up jumper from 2, off the mark for Wentworth.
And say hi to former Triton assistant coach and now the head coach of Valdosta State, DeAndre Shermer, tuning in and checking out this game as they've got an off day.
Vieira, her hands phenomenal, getting in there for the tie-up and gives possession over to the Tritons. .7:35 to go, first quarter, just underway here in St. Petersburg. .56-54 was the score in the first meeting between these two teams. A jumper off the mark, and Tampa comes back up off the left side of the floor. Tritons were conceding a long 2 there, but Tampa elects to run their offense. Pass inside, back out, down the lane. Jumper, a long 17-foot-2, settles in for Kin.
Yeah, I think if any shot you're going to give up for Eckerd and Coach Honsinger, that's the shot you're most willing to let them take.
You can't cover everything. Tritons will give that up all the time. Parshawn's 3. Off the mark, batted out, but Tampa back to secure it. The only surprise at this point for the Spartans on the season is that they aren't undefeated. Their one loss, still one that's hard to explain. Soft roll on the 2 puts the Spartans back in front, 8-7 with 6:17 to go in the first quarter. Palm Beach Atlantic in overtime defeated the Spartans. Vieira inside. She had a very tough game in the first meeting between these two teams, has already rung the bell twice for 4 points. Tampa, always a methodical offensive team. Left wing 3 settles in for the Spartans. The offensive pace of this game already much quicker, at least in terms of the actual output, than the first. Vieira in underneath, Scales out of the corner. Wentworth, she was tightly guarded, did not have a 3-point hit in the first meeting. Vieira tries a 3 and misses wide.
Yeah, it'll be no surprise. Tampa will be happy to let Vieira take that shot. As many teams in conference have started to do more to her, sag off of her.
Right wing look for Tampa. Triton stay in man. Nearing the midway point of the first quarter. Out top, straight on 3-point try. Front rim, no. Great box outs all around by the Tritons. Einersdotter's first try from 3 is pure.
Yeah. Ken sagged down
she
the
was
road.
clapping
Yep.
for it. She
she
was
knew.
looking for that look the whole way down the floor.
She knew Ken had sagged down to the lane to help out on the dribble penetration, and we know Einersdottir can knock down the three if she's left open. Need a big game from her like that to help us have a chance to win this one.
Tritons are front, 12-11. Ken tries a 15-footer off the mark. Einersdottir did not score and only played 7 minutes while fouling 3 times in the first meeting. Vieira long, but gets her own rebound out of the corner and scores. Nobody came to that side of the rim at all.
No, she was so open, nobody could block her out on the shot. Did a great job of following her shot in and getting the easy basket.
14-11. Another long 2 for Tampa, another splash to bring the Spartans within 1.
And again, I mean, we've seen Sullivan. She's a good mid-range shooter, but I'd much rather let her shoot from 17, 18 feet than let her get to the basket.
Seemingly at every level of basketball now, yeah, you will allow a long 2. Much rather get beat on those than on open threes or close-in shots.
Some teams rarely take long 2s anymore.
Parshawn, help defense comes, only 3 to shoot. Guns up the shot and doesn't draw rim. A shot clock violation. And that brings us to the first media timeout. A very crisp opening stanza between the Tritons and the Spartans. 14-13 Eckerd with 3:32 to go in the quarter when we return on the SSC Digital Network.
Thank you to preferred partner of Eckerd Athletics, Cora Physical Therapy. For more information and to achieve a healthier you, visit coraphysicaltherapy.com, where patients with orthopedic problems, work-related injuries, sports injuries, and various neuromuscular and neurological conditions are always treated right. Thank you to preferred partner of Eckerd Athletics, Domino's on 34th Street South. For pizza, wings, pasta, salad, and sandwiches, think Domino's, just a mile from campus on 34th Street South. And
back underway with about 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Tampa with the basketball. Eckerd with a 1-point lead, 14-13. John Armstrong and Nate March here with you on the SSC Digital Network. Left wing drive and a jumper up and in. Audrey Ramsey off to a strong start, as most players are on these two teams. Offensively, 15-14 Spartans. Circling Rimdahl is in. Tampa out of a zone, nearly forces a turnover. Parshawn getting the ball back. Goes inside, draws contact, gets the bucket, but no foul.
That was a good job by Sophia to create. Their offense kind of broke down. She just powered her way to the basket and made a nice shot through the contact. Tampa on fire, 7 of 9 from the floor early on, and most of those shots have come from the perimeter.
Ramsey gives it up this time. Ken setting a screen and a travel committed. Coughed up by Malia Sullivan, who had the winning basket between these two teams the first time around in a very unsettled situation where Tampa initiated in the forecourt with 5 seconds left and scored as time virtually expired. Scales stops at the free throw line out. Einersdottir, right wing open. Front rim, no. Rimdahl. That's over. Okay. The official mixed up the signal initially. Rimdahl got smacked in the back on the rebound. Initially, the foul was called against her, but they have reversed it, and the Tritons keep the ball on the first foul of the game.
First, that was a great block out by Rimdahl, and Eckerd kind of got a bad break there because Rimdahl got the rebound anyway and would have had an uncontested layup.
Three-pointer, back rim, no. And Vieira does get hit on the over the back. That's the spot where you don't want to see her give away her first foul of the game, one on each team.
Yeah, Parshawn's a great scorer, as we've seen this year. The one place she has been inconsistent is from behind the arc. You saw, you probably couldn't see it on the video there, but that attempt had very little rotation, and what rotation it had was side rotation. So I'm not sure if she's not getting a good grip on the ball on those three-point shots, but it's something Tampa may start letting her take.
16-15, Triton's in front. Tampa working the perimeter. Scales up tight on Ramsey. Three-point try for the Spartans. Goes down. It's all falling. Sarah Jones with a three-point try that time. Harshawn gets to the elbow. Out. Vieira wide open. Thinks about it. Fires off the mark. And Tampa rebounds. Again, the Spartans are probably going to give that to Vieira all game long.
Yeah, Guista almost had a foot in the lane.
Kin inside, ball deflected multiple times. She hangs on, out, and Ramsey buries a triple.
Now, the one thing you can say, Tampa will not continue to shoot at this pace now. 9 of 11 from the floor.
21-16, Tampa in front. Harshawn right side, foul line extended. Into the paint. Vieira attacks off the dribble, draws the defense. Everyone inside. Einersdottir loads up, fires off the left side of the rim. No one there to contest for a rebound, and over to Tampa.
So, yeah, Wentworth's coming in is going to replace Vieira now. And so I think Coach Honsinger is going to make the adjustment since Tampa has clearly shown they're going to sag off of Vieira to let her take some threes. Bring in another shooter that'll hopefully spread the defense out a little bit more.
Final minute of the first quarter, 21-16, Tampa in front, 6-0 run for the Spartans. Ramsey gives up. Gusto. 4 to shoot, and turned over along the baseline. Scales splits the defense into the forecourt left. Tritons can hold for the final shot of the quarter.
And Scales hasn't taken a shot yet. I really think we're going to have to get some offensive production from Nicole in this game.
Scales waves away the screen. Now she uses it out. Einersdottir straight on. Off the mark from the left side on a wide open triple. 21-16. Tampa leads Eckerd after a fast-paced quarter on the SSC Digital Network.
Don't forget to cheer on the Domino's in-game promotion to receive 1 free pizza.
Good Tampa basketball as we begin. Court number 2.
University of Tampa, the third-ranked team in the country, 23-1 on the season. They start with the basketball and a 5-point lead in the second quarter, and the Road Blacks going left to right.
Eckerd only 2 of 11 from three-point range in the first quarter, and Tampa continues to make everything.
Ramsey making it rain, knocks down another mid-range jumper. She's in double figures already for the Spartans. And an offensive foul wiped the 3 off the mark for the Tritons.
Yeah, that was a rare unforced mistake by Eckerd. That play was run well to get Wentworth the open 3 off the flare, and there was really not much contact that Einersdottir would have had it set. Tampa got lost. on that, but just enough to get the foul called.
Ramsey, quick trigger. Ball knocked loose and into Vieira's hands. Travel called against Marchand. Tritons have committed only the 2 fouls so far, but Tampa only the 1. Neither offense has, and that's for the game, not this quarter. Neither team has really forced the issue attacking the rim. Both have settled for a lot of jumpers, and in Tampa's case, they have hit a ton and continue to, as Sullivan extends the lead to 9.
Sullivan now perfect 5 of 5 from the floor. You know, I had previously said Eckerd would be fine giving up those mid-range jumpers, but at the rate Tampa's making them, I'm not so sure you can continue to do that.
Sullivan and Ramsey with 10 apiece. Rimdahl rejected by Sullivan. Tremendous hands by Sullivan.
And a great recovery. Rimdahl got open on that curl cut to the basket, but Sullivan came out of nowhere and knocked it away from behind. She's having herself quite a game so far.
Rimdahl replaced by Scales.
And I do think, Nate, for Eckerd to have a good chance to win the game, we're going to have to shoot around 40% from three-point range.
Einersdottir tripped coming down the lane on the inbounds play.
And right now, Eckerd just 2 of 11 from three-point range, and you know a lot of those shots have been open looks at the basket that just haven't gone in.
Meanwhile, Tampa is shooting nearly 80% from the floor, over a quarter in.
And again, you have to, if you're Eckerd, you have to just be patient and expect that shooting percentage is certainly not going to continue. Just stick to your game plan, keep doing what you're doing.
By the way, they called that as a shooting foul, so Einersdottir goes to the line for a couple. And bricks the first one. Caught a little off guard. I thought that, the contact was mostly before the ball was even thrown in, let alone on the catch. But Einersdottir goes 1 of 2. Snaps a long Tampa scoring run. Tampa was on a 10-0 run. Tritons bring full court pressure, but a kickball called.
Eckerd, throughout the course of the season, they've used the full court pressure sparingly, but it's always been successful. Tampa's really quick at the guard spot, so it'll be interesting to see if Eckerd can make things happen.
Foul committed by Hannah Wentworth.
Not a bad foul there. I mean, she was going for the steal underneath the basket, didn't get there. Gusto did a good job of coming forward and meeting the pass to draw the contact.
Tritons initially, it seemed as if initially the Spartans didn't realize they didn't have the option to run baseline off the kickball like they had off the made basket. Well, ultimately, and Tritons wind up being the last ones to touch it. They are pestering Tampa, but unable to force the turnover so far with this pressure defense.
Okay, again, Tampa's really strong at the guard positions. They've got good ball handlers, a lot of quickness.
25-17, Tampa in front. Tritons go to a zone look. Open look, 3 in the air, and 3 in the net for Jones. It's all falling for the Spartans. This is unreal. It's 28-17. It took Tampa into the third quarter to get to 28 in the first meeting. Marchand stuffed by the underside of the basket. Usually you like to speed Tampa up, get them shooting aggressively a little bit. Finally, a jumper off the mark from Sullivan. Titans down by 11. Need to find a basket somewhere. Looking for their first field goal in this second quarter. Wentworth, and again, tightly covered, goes around the screen with 9 to shoot, gets to the baseline, look away pass, Vieira out of the corner, missed everything, but Einersdottir fouled on the putback attempt. Wentworth, of course, is getting blanketed, but she did not have a three-point make in the first meeting, and Tritons probably have no chance to be successful tonight if they don't find a way to get a few shots out of her hand into the basket, although that was a tremendous pass that she made on the look away, no look into the corner for Vieira. First free throw good for Einer's daughter. She's got 5. Two of 2 at the line this time, and the Tritons bring the full court press. Goes back to Justo. Long pass ahead, deflected by Vieira, but Kin gathers and scores. Just another terrible break for the Tritons.
It's been a game full of those so far. And Tampa, of course, they're able to create some of their own breaks because of their size and their speed. And they've shot the ball exceedingly well so far as well.
Left side, Wentworth. Harshawn with the Einer's daughter screening. Gets contact, goes to the rim, and scores off the window. Harshawn has created contact on some of her made baskets. Hasn't been able to get the call on any of them yet. 30-21. Another dangerous pass, open look, Justo, and another buried triple. Tampa is 5 of 8 or so. No, 5 of 7 from 3.
Yeah, they're knocking them down, but I will say a lot of those shots are wide open.
Wentworth long on a quick trigger.
I mean, that's one of the risks you run when you play the zone, and a trapping zone at that, on that skip pass, you run the risk of giving up open shots, and that's just what happened with Gusto.
Left wing, deflected pass, stolen by the Tritons. Opportunity off the turnover. Harshawn, forecourt left. Gets to the elbow, driving in, gets to the rim, and banks it in again. Harshawn has 11.
Nice quick crossover to get past your defender. Right now, the Tritons need to find an answer on the other end and get a few more stops. Tampa 14 of 18 from the field. Unbelievably hot start.
Tritons are 6 of 10 from 2, but only 2 of 13 from 3, and they're trailing by 10, nearing the midway point of the second quarter. 8 to shoot. Pass around the perimeter. Three-pointer fired up and off the mark from Gusto.
There we go. Finally forced them into taking a quick shot that wasn't wide open.
Scales trouble with the pickup, gets control but doesn't have room for a shot. Drives back from the other way along the baseline into the paint, fading away on the jumper and knocks it down.
Yeah, again, I really would love to see Nicole get involved a little bit more in the offense like she was there. Let her try to create off the dribble. We've seen Harshawn's been able to create and get to the basket. If Scales can do that as well, Tritons have some more offensive options.
Cross-court pass and a quick shot that wasn't necessary on the 2 from Jones. Seemed like she thought that was late clock. The ball was barely in her hands, and she shot it off balance, leaning in. Vieira, left side corner, lots of room, dribbles out of there. Now tries the 3 and hits. Vieira's first long-range connection. She has 9, and the Tritons are back within 5.
It's hard for me to understand why Lauren is not a good three-point shooter. You watch her shoot, her fundamentals, her technique's pretty good.
Her technique's good. Her free throw shooting is good, but yeah, the percentages just have never been there for her in her Tritons career. Not for lack of open looks either. Contested three-point try for Tampa. Roll does not go their way, and Harshawn with a strong rebound. In transition, Scales has an angle.
Oh, no.
My goodness. That's a horrible. Wow, I never say that, but that's a horrible call. That was atrocious.
That honestly, I think, that should have been a no call. I mean, they were both going for the same spot, but there wasn't very much contact in either direction on that one.
There was nothing there for there to be a call whatsoever, but maybe we just needed to get to the media timeout with 3:37 to go in the half. Tampa 33, Eckerd 28 on the SSC Digital Network.
Here, our mission is to for the careers of today and new ones on the horizon.
We have there, and the relationships I've built is something like I wouldn't be able to find just anywhere.
Tampa basketball after the first foul on Nicole Scales on a very soft charge foul. Inside can easy lay in for her to snap a 7-0 Triton's run and extend the Tampa lead back to 7 at 35-28.
A nice adjustment there against the Eckerd zone by the Spartans out of the timeout.
Scales posting. A lot of contact there underneath, but questionably no blocking call. I mean, I guess contact is supposed to, lead to foul calls of any instance now, but a long three off the mark from Parshon to the left wing. And Tampa back in control of the basketball with exactly 3 minutes to go in the half. Catching the post again. This time, Kin doesn't come open underneath. Leads to an open mid-range try. Kin ticks the rebound, but the Tritons swarm to the ball. And Parshon comes out of the pack. Another look. Vieira, 3 on the way. 3 in the net!
All right. That's good. 2 in a row. Now Tampa may have to start respecting that.
Well, that would change a lot of things for the Tritons offense if they have to guard Vieira, who has 9 points. Has not shied away from taking the shots. 4 of 8 from the floor. Tritons stay in the zone. Ramsey to Kin. Kin against Einersdottir, spins away, and a chance for a 3-point play. Tritons had help defense to bring, and it didn't get there in time. And Rimdahl is the one who actually committed the foul. Kin off the mark on the free throw. 37-31. Vieira pushes the tempo, surveying the floor. Long skip pass, Wentworth. Again, the defense right there on her. Parshon drives inside, hangs off the window, no. Kin back to clean the glass.
Yeah, Kin came over on the help side to contest and made Parshon alter her shot, put it up a little higher than she probably would have liked to.
Parshon already with 12 attempts from the floor. Eight to shoot. Offensive foul against Tampa, somewhere away from the ball. It's against Kin. That's her second. The Spartans seem to have decided they will let Parshon go for whatever she wants, just make her work, and they'll leave Vieira open to take whatever she wants. Wentworth just can't even get a look the way they stay attached to her.
Now, if you look, they've got Sullivan on her, who's one of their best perimeter defenders. And the thing with Sullivan is she's got more size.
Scales, great catch inside and a tremendous pass as well. 1:15 to go in the first half, 37-33. Much more offensive-minded game than the first meeting between these two teams. Sullivan out to the perimeter. Ramsey, Parshon right up on her. Skip pass, Wentworth gets out there to defend. Open look out of the corner, and the Spartans have their 6th three. 45 seconds to go in the half, 40-37 Tampa. Tampa is still shooting 68% from the floor and 60% from 3. Wentworth open, and an offensive foul waves off her attempt for the second time in the game.
And both times it's been on Einersdottir setting that flare screen. I don't know what, I didn't see either time what she's doing, but she's doing something that the officials don't like. Now Tampa's got a chance to basically play for the final shot and maybe take a double digits lead into halftime.
Tritons don't have a foul to give on this final possession either.
It's a shame to have that wasted possession there, late in the quarter when it's you get the margin's 7. You had a chance to maybe make a 3, bring it to 4, get a stop. Now Tampa could come down and take a 9 or 10-point lead into the locker room.
Ball knocked free, loose. Justo gets it back, and everything is just going to go for the Spartans, it seems. Time runs out on the Tritons. 42-33. Tampa shoots a blistering 18 of 26 from the floor in the first half. Ramsey and Sullivan in double figures. Vieira and Parshon are in double figures for the Tritons. But Jones has 9 and Gusteau has 5 for Tampa as well. So just a wild, off-the-charts first half offensively for Tampa, and they lead by 9.
Yeah, I think what was the final score? Is it 50? It was 56-55 in the game at Tampa earlier this year.
I think it's 56-54. I think
54.
I believe Sullivan made the free throw. That didn't matter.
Yeah, right. But at any rate, nobody got into the 60s, so it'd be 42-33.
Both teams were struggling to get to 20 in the first half.
Yeah.
But
I mean, as you alluded to, Tampa has shot the ball quite well. Now, they have had a lot of open looks from the perimeter in the mid-range, but they've also made some tough shots. I mean, you saw Gusteau right there. Eckerd had a great defensive possession, had a deflection. Gusteau had to pick up the ball and just kind of create something off balance by herself as the clock expired, knocked it down. And, that's all. You've done all you can do defensively. They made a tough shot, so you tip your hat to them on that possession, and then you keep trying to do what you were doing that was effective.
Eckerd controlled the paint, an 18-10 advantage, but Tampa had the edge off turnovers. And we'll take a closer look at some of these other numbers, and we'll get you the action from the second half in about 13 minutes. You're watching the SSC Digital Network.
Classic people, so just seeing the new faces every day, having different types of conversation, seeing people are from everywhere at Eckerd College.
I would say the environment, the community, like the people that I've met, is just so awesome. Like, I know that after college, I'll have lifelong friends, and I don't think I'd be able to get that anywhere else.
Thank you to preferred partner of Eckerd Athletics, Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. For 30 years, Ferg Sports Bar and Grill has been the official gathering spot for Tampa Bay Rays fans. Located in downtown St. Pete, Ferg's encompasses nearly 2 city blocks with both indoor and outdoor seating with live music. When watching your next Tampa Bay sporting event, check out Ferg's. Thank you to preferred partner of Eckerd Athletics, J. Harper Consulting. J. Harper Consulting is Florida's definitive network of vetted contractors serving insurance carriers and clients. For your next contracting project, check them out at jharperconsulting.com. Thank you to preferred partner of Eckerd Athletics, Novak & Powell. To achieve your financial life on better terms, thank the financial service advisors of Novak & Powell at novakpowell.com. Novak & Powell helps from managing and preserving your wealth to leaving a legacy for your loved ones. Thank you to preferred hotel partner of Eckerd Athletics, Residence Inn. Experience a peaceful waterfront getaway at Residence Inn Tierra Verde. Located directly on the bay, the Residence Inn is a waterfront hotel just steps away from all your favorite St. Pete attractions. When booking your next St. Pete getaway, think Residence Inn.
A big reason why Eckerd succeeds on and off the court is because of the tremendous support we receive throughout the year. I want to thank the members of the Teal-Insta Society for your generous gifts to help fund our teams.
Even a small gift can go a long way to support our teams, such as scholarships, travel, uniforms, and many other things. Please consider joining our Teal-Insta Society today.
Visit EckerdTritons.com/give for more information. Thank you, and go Tritons!
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Thank you to preferred partner of Eckerd Athletics, Cora Physical Therapy. For more information and to achieve a healthier you, visit coraphysicaltherapy.com, where patients with orthopedic problems, work-related injuries, sports injuries, and various neuromuscular and neurological conditions are always treated right. Thank you to preferred partner of Eckerd Athletics, Domino's on 34th Street South. For pizza, wings, pasta, salad, and sandwiches, think Domino's, just a mile from campus on 34th Street South. And when you're in the stands at Triton games, don't forget to cheer on the Domino's in-game promotion to receive one free pizza.
Here, our mission is to for the careers of today and new ones on the
Start of the second half here inside the MacArthur Center in St. Petersburg. John Armstrong, Nate Marchback with you. Eckerd trailing by 9, 42-33 on the SSC Digital Network. Triton start with the basketball, going left to right. Again, if you told me Tampa was going to shoot 70% in the first half, I probably would have guessed Triton's be down by more than 9, and now they are only down 6 after Einersdotter's second three of the game.
Total reversal of how that's normally played. The point guard posted up and kicked it out to the 5 for the open 3.
Einersdotter standing in for Maya Price, who, of course, suffered a leg injury that compromised her season. Einersdotter challenges well defensively, and a foul committed by Sullivan, her second personal. There haven't been many fouls in this game at all.
No, and there have been fewer misses by Sullivan.
But Einersdotter, when I asked her after that tremendous game she played, her first home game in the starting lineup, she said she's more of a stretch 5, and the Tritons would have to do more 5-out type of offense with Price out, and that is exactly how it has gone. Parshon, left block, Vieira open, right side, off the mark on the triple that time. Einersdotter contests for the rebound, but she's boxed out, can't fight it too hard. Kinn catches deep, lobs back out. Einersdotter does have 2 personals, the only Triton with 2.
And Kinn did a really good job there keeping that possession alive for Tampa. That was a tough catch to make.
Kinn going to have to gun up the long 2. Rims out. Parshon's rebound is her 7th. Einersdotter loads up, fires again. Front rim, deflected by Vieira, but winds up in Kinn's hands on the perimeter. Ramsey Off the mark on the three, so Tampa finally a few misses piling up. Einerstatter has done a good job of drawing Kinn away from the rim and does so here, so Vieira can draw the foul. You can see there, usually that's a shot. Kinn switches over or helps over and swats that thing off the back wall. But she only had 1 foot in the paint because she has an eye out on Einerstatter.
Yeah, and Vieira's so quick too. I mean, if you give her half a step, she's going to get past the defender and not give help side a chance to rotate over.
A free throw brings the Tritons back to within 5. Second one gets the roll. And here comes full court pressure from the Tritons. It's a dangerous pass, floated into the backcourt. Here's Ramsey zigzagging ahead. Here's Sullivan, has a lane initially, but too strong as she sails by Einerstatter. This is an open look. The three in the air. The three in the net! Wentworth's first connection against the Spartans this year brings the Tritons within 1. Eckerd opens the third on an 8-0 run. Timeout called by the Spartans.
Tampa did something they rarely do. They lost Wentworth in transition. You can't do that.
They never do. They haven't given her a good look that was anything inside of 25 feet at any point this season. And finally, they lost her once, and she made them pay.
And again tonight, they've had for the majority of the game Sullivan on her. So what that creates for Wentworth, not only is Sullivan athletic enough and quick enough to stay with her, she's also bigger.
Well, it's a good point because that stands to reason that would be the moment it happens, because Sullivan had that open lane to the basket at the other end. At the last moment, Einerstatter ducked out from behind her defender to help. Sullivan leapt, sailed by her, missed off the back rim, and wound up landing out of bounds. And in transition, she never found Wentworth.
And I think that's where Eckerd will maybe have the best chance to get Wentworth open is in transition if Eckerd can force misses. And Eckerd, because Tampa shot the ball so well in the first half, the Tritons did not have a lot of transition opportunities. Tampa started the second half off a little cold. Eckerd's been able to get out in transition. And again, Wentworth is a great shooter in transition. We've seen it in her time here at Eckerd. She can really knock down threes. And matter of fact, she may be the most dangerous as a shooter in transition.
Well, the efficiency is still much better for Tampa, but Eckerd has now evened the odds on three-point shots in terms of total makes. Each team has made a half dozen. Full court pressure out of the timeout for the Tritons. Deflected. Parshon not quite able to steal it after the deflection. Now a chance, and it winds up right back in Ramsey's hands, and Tampa able to beat the press. The press has bothered Tampa, but has yet to really cause a substantial turnover opportunity, and Kinn scores at the other end and has a chance for a three-point play.
Parshon was trying to get there in time on the help side, was a little too slow. And that's a shame because Eckerd, it's such a good defensive possession between two deflections in the backcourt on the press and then forcing Gusto to pick up her dribble in a tough spot. Tampa just used its size and athleticism to make something out of nothing.
Kinn, for the second time, fails to convert a three-point play. She is 0 of 2 at the strike. Parshon, tough catch, moving away from the basket. Wentworth, open. 3! It's a tie game, 44-all.
That was well-executed play. Wentworth with the post feed to Parshon as she cut across the lane, cut to the baseline, got the pass, made Sullivan overcommit.
Gusto asking for the screen from Kinn, gets it, stuck in the paint, leans in with contact, gets a late foul call.
Yeah, it was the right call. I was surprised the whistle didn't get blown earlier. And that was right. She did get fouled.
Vieira's second.
Coach Honsinger may not agree with that, though. Maybe he'd be questioning. I don't know if he's questioning whether it was on the shot or not. He's certainly having a conversation with the official who made the call on the baseline.
First free throw too strong. Well, I'm sure like me, after that Matador charge play in the first half, everything's worth a question. Are you sure?
I think as a coach, you're going to question just about anything, and that's okay.
1 and 2 at the line, 45-44, Tampa in front. Scales went close to the baseline, sprints back up, gets around the corner, and scores with the left hand to give the Tritons their first lead in a while.
Yeah, I love the fact that Nicole was able to attack the basket there off the screen at the top from Einersdottir.
First lead since it was 16-15. It's now 46-45 Tritons. You wanted a fun showdown between two top 10 teams in the country. We got it.
Yeah, the double teams aren't
the
double team's not coming down now like it was early in the game. They're letting her work one-on-one. Vieira came in, but it was a little late. The foul was on Vieira.
Oh. A little surprised just because I saw the same thing you did, that the double team wasn't coming there. I thought that.
Yeah, and Vieira did come down. She came down late, but I was with you. I thought the foul was on Einersdottir. So now Vieira will head to the bench with 3.
Ken not to score with a free throw, 46 all.
Well, Eckerd did a good job of keeping Ken out of the half-court offense in the first half. Tampa's been able to get her involved a little bit more here in the second half.
2 of 2, 47-46, Tampa in front. Wentworth, tricky catch. She was being face guarded that time by Gusto. And a carry called against Wentworth.
I'm not going to lie, it's been a long time since I've seen a carrying violation called. I don't know if I've seen one all year, to be honest, in either men's or women's.
I think, yeah, I can't think of one. Ball pops free for a moment. Open look for Jones. Her 3, too strong, and Einersdottir able to tap the rebound to Parshon. Up the left side of the floor in transition. Out, scales, 3 on the way. Off the mark. Rimdahl got a piece of the loose ball, but rebounded by Tampa.
That was a good look for Nicole.
Kin, right elbow, faces up, tries the jumper, and splashes it with a hand in her face.
Yeah, I did. A little concerned if you're Eckerd now with Ken starting to get into a bit of a rhythm in the half court. Again, we've stopped double teaming them.
Ken, a 4-year player at Findlay University, wrapping up her career at Tampa. Great move by Parshon, but they call the foul on the floor. Which you're going to call a foul, it was on the floor. I thought she'd actually wriggle through without too much contact there for the lay-in.
Coach Tom Jesse arguing that she did she hooked to get around, and I didn't get a good look at it, but he may have a case there.
3 on each team. Einersdottir. Nope. Left it short. Kid was flying out at her with those long limbs.
Yeah, Einersdottir's good if she has time, but if she has to hurry her shot a little bit like she did there, she's not nearly as accurate.
3-point lead for Tampa. Kin pushing her way inside, traveled though.
There we go. I think Eckerd's idea on the double team is to bring it over a little bit later, because you saw the last 3 times she's gotten post touches, the doubles come a little bit later, but credit Einersdottir for the defensive job she did on that possession.
We got a ball game in the MacArthur Center. 4:45 to go in the third. Tampa 49, Eckerd 46 on the SSC Digital Network.
We have there, and the relationships I've built is something like I wouldn't be able to find just anywhere else.
It's just different types of people, so just seeing the new faces every day, having different types of conversation, seeing people are from everywhere at Eckerd College.
I would say the environment, the community, like the people that I've met, is just so awesome. Like, I know that after college, like, I'll have lifelong friends, and I don't think I'd be able to get that anywhere else.
Tampa 49, Eckerd 46, 4:45 to go in the third, and a top 10 matchup here in St. Pete. Sole possession of first place in the SSC on the line. Rimdahl Hangs onto the ball for a while. Einersdottir thought about lining up the three. Now goes in off the dribble. Kinn rejects it. Rimdahl off the back rim. No. Foul against Scales on the drive. Oh no.
Called travel first.
Travel first.
Yeah, she did lose. Gusto did lose a handle on the ball going in, juggled it and bobbled it a little bit. So I guess that's what got picked up by the official.
I thought that might have been why it wasn't travel.
Because of the contact.
Well, the fact that she didn't have the ball in possession until she got there to have the contact. Parshon posting. Tough shot, winds up with an air ball.
Yeah, a lot of contact on that one. Didn't get the whistle.
Both teams struggling.
Shot clock didn't reset.
Shot clock didn't reset. We'll see a side out for Tampa.
Yeah, tough break for Tampa, too, because they had knocked down actually a three in transition there. It was taken after the whistle, so you don't know if that would have been taken in the course of play. But either way, they were in transition.
Tritons have missed their last 5 shots from the floor. Long 2, good for Ramsey. Extends the lead back to 5 for the Spartans.
And Scales went under the screen set by Kinn there and gave her the space. Ramsey knocks it down.
Scales on the attack and very patient to work her way all the way down to the baseline and score.
I like it. Keep trying to find ways to keep Scales involved in the offense. She can create if you give her the opportunity.
Scales with 8 points. Kinn left it short. Parshon, I don't believe, has scored in this quarter.
She's been quiet. I think she's only taken 2 shots.
No, she has not scored here in the third. 11 in the game for the tie. That is well short.
Yeah, Raga's having to take those shots too quickly. Again, she's fine if she gets a little bit of time to spot and shoot, but because of Kinn's size and athleticism, Kinn's getting out in just enough time to make Raga rush.
Ramsey drives on Parshon, used up her dribble. Kinn out top, midway through the clock. Open look from 15 feet, rolls around, tipped around, and a foul against Rimdahl, chasing the rebound.
Number 13, Carolina Rimdahl.
It's actually Tampa's first offensive rebound of the game.
There haven't been many second chance opportunities at all.
No, and Tampa hasn't crashed the boards at all either. I mean, this is one of the first times that you've seen them go for an offensive rebound.
It was only I guess it was the second on Rimdahl, but she gets replaced here. Corzani into the game. Lauren Vieira has been on the bench for a good chunk of the quarter. She picked up 2 quick fouls this quarter and has 3. Kinn gets the roll.
Yeah, again, Tampa's done a really good job in this third quarter, continuing to find ways to get Kinn involved in the half court.
She has 16 on 7 of 10 shooting. She was 7 of 9 from the floor in the first meeting. 3-pointer is long for Wentworth.
Again, Tampa's doing a really good job of getting out on the shooters and making them take quick shots. Wentworth had to get that one off quickly. Kinn might have got away with an illegal screen there.
Minute 45 to go in the third. Jumper too strong for Gusto. Cross-court pass deflected and stolen. Parshon was looking for Scales. There wasn't a window to get it through. And really, Scales didn't have a lane to keep going, even if that pass made it through. 3-point opportunity for the Spartans.
Yeah, that's a tough matchup for Corzani having to come in, and she's got the task of guarding Gusto, who's just quicker, and was able to use the screen from Kinn to get past Corzani to the basket.
Vieira to the scorer's table to return.
Yeah, that's just a tough matchup for Corzani. But again, Eckerd's depth issues this year have sometimes forced Eckerd into having more difficult matchups.
Eckerd erased a 9-point deficit, took a 46-45 lead, but now trails 56-48 with a minute 15 to go in the third. Triton's open the third on a huge run. Defense stays anchored to potential shooters. Parshon down the lane, doesn't get the roll. Triton's just one of their last 9 from the floor. Tampa still shooting just under 60% from the floor themselves. 8 to shoot. Gusto, look away pass. Marcheski gives it up. 3 to shoot. Turnaround, Ramsey, or actually Jones. Tritons can take the final shot of the third quarter, trailing by 8. Vieira between the circles, bleeding the clock down to 10 seconds. Down to 8. Here she goes. Goes at Kin, hit the underside of the rim, tapped out. Wentworth got to get it up. No call on Wentworth's shot attempt.
Yeah, Coach Hansinger, hands on his head. And I understand, officials don't always want to make that call as the clock runs down, but a foul's a foul, and there was a lot of contact on Wentworth between two players. Coach Hansinger's about to lose his mind off of that one.
Tampa 56, Eckerd 48. 10 minutes to go. We'll be back in a moment for the fourth quarter on the SSC Digital Network.
Thank you to preferred partner of Eckerd Athletics, Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. For 30 years, Ferg Sports Bar and Grill has been the official gathering spot for Tampa Bay Rays fans. Located in downtown St. Pete, Ferg's encompasses nearly 2 city blocks with both indoor and outdoor seating with live music. When watching your next Tampa Bay sporting event, check out Ferg's. Thank you to preferred partner of Eckerd Athletics, J. Harper Consulting. J. Harper Consulting is Florida's definitive network of vetted contractors serving.
Tampa basketball. Spartans with a 56-48 lead. They've scored as many points through 3 quarters as they won with in the first meeting between these two teams on January 14th. Eckerd's offense has been pretty sharp as well in the second half. Kin, short jumper, gets the roll, and Tampa's lead is 10.
Yeah, again, no double team on that catch. I don't know how much longer Eckerd can get away with just letting her work one-on-one against Einer's daughter.
To the lane, Parshon. Vieira has hit 2 triples. This one rattles out. She sneaks in, gets her own rebound. Wentworth, long 2, too strong. She was contested on the attempt.
Yeah, these first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter are going to be really important to Eckerd. You just cannot let Tampa continue to hold a double-digit lead. You don't have to take the lead, but you need to get it back within 2 possessions when you hit the 5-minute mark.
Great defense by Scales on Jones' take to the rim. Scales, 3 on the way. Off the mark. Eckerd just 7 of 27 from 3.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but coming into the game, I felt like Eckerd needed to shoot 40% from 3 in order to give themselves a good opportunity to win the game. And, take that 26% three-point shooting effort right now, make it 40. Think about the difference in the score.
58-48, Tampa the lead and the ball. Tritons go to an extended zone. Top 10 matchup here in St. Petersburg. 23-1 Tampa, ranked number 3 in the country. There's a steal by Parshon, 2-on-1. Parshon all the way in for the lay-in. Her first bucket in the second half. Eckerd, on the other hand, they're 20-3, ranked 7th in the country.
And 2 of Eckerd's 3 losses have come against the number 2 and number 3 ranked team in the country.
That's worth noting as well. 3 on the way. Gusto gets it down to extend the lead to 11. First three-pointer of the second half for Tampa. 61-50. Marshawn steps into a long 2 and gets the friendly roll. Marshawn with 15, Vieira with 14. That ball is loose and turned over by Tampa.
And Tampa's had a little bit of trouble working the ball around the top of that Eckerd zone. Had that turnover that Marshawn got out in transition to make the basket and then forced the dead ball turnover there.
61-52. Wentworth behind Einersdottir. Hands off for Scales. Marshawn keeps a tight handle. Gets it right back from Einersdottir. Elbow jumper, elbow extended. Draws the front of the rim, nothing more.
Yeah. Spartans did a good job on that defensive possession. Did not let Eckerd get into its offensive actions. Forced that mid-range, tough mid-range jumper at that. And Eckerd forces a turnover right back.
Jones was open on the baseline. That pass, though, much too high for her to catch cleanly. And in this case, she wasn't even able to keep it in bounds.
And Eckerd's, for the most part, been getting stops in this fourth quarter, but have not been able to convert into scores on the other end.
Under 7 to play. Vieira inside, high off the window, off the rim.
And again, Ken was there to alter that shot.
Tritons extend again. There's the trap. Ken this time makes the tough catch and scores. Not many players in this conference can even make that catch, let alone turn effortlessly. Flick it up off the window and in after that.
Yeah, I can think of 2, and 1, unfortunately, is out for the season for Eckerd.
Exactly. Scales inside, tipped around, and over to Tampa.
Yeah, now Eckerd just coming up. Too many empty possessions right now. You cannot continue to give Tampa these opportunities.
There was a tremendous duel between Price and Ken in the first meeting. Vieira on the floor. We'll get a tie-up, I believe, here.
Timeout called first.
Nope, Tampa gets the timeout before the tie-up. 6:04 to go in the game, 63-52, and it'll be extended to a media timeout. We'll step aside as well on the SSC Digital Network. Tampa with the basketball and a double-digit lead, under 6 minutes to go. Baseline pass, up and under, in for Ramsey, who has 14 in the game.
Well, another positive for Tampa, not only getting the easy basket, they did it with 5 on the shot clock, so that just takes more ticks off the clock with a 13-point lead.
top. Einersdottir just above the right elbow. Harshawn got held. This is the first foul of the fourth quarter.
Number 5, Aubrey Ramsey, her second. Number 1 on the team.
Sullivan's been not only quiet for the second half, she's been on the bench for most of it. After making her first 5 shots for 10 points, she's again been really quiet. It only has 10 points in the game, but that shows you the depth and the talent on this Tampa team, that they've been able to put her on the bench for the second half, and Spartans have pushed the lead up to 13 now without her presence on the floor.
Well, this is as dynamic of a Tampa team as I can remember seeing. Eckerd was able to turn it into a slugfest at their place. Here it's been a more wide open game, and it has favored the Spartans. Vieira, Einersdottir needs it. No, well short. Vieira taps it back in. Wentworth gets fouled, didn't get the roll, but will shoot a couple free throws.
Yeah, but what hustle by Vieira, who drove the lane, made the pass out to Einersdottir, then outraced 2 Spartan players to tap that ball and back into play and keep it alive. That was a good look for Einersdottir. She didn't have to rush it, but just hasn't been able to find her range after knocking down her first one from behind the arc today.
A free throw off the mark for Wentworth. Einersdottir, 2 of 10 from the floor. 9 of those attempts have been from 3.
And Triton's only 7 of 28 from 3.
Second free throw, good. Triton's full court pressure, down a dozen. Mayacheski takes the pass toward the baseline, floats it over the top to Gusto. Mayacheski. Too early to say that would have been a dagger, but would have felt awful close. Doesn't go down, though. Triton's still alive with 4:40 to go. Vieira thought about the 3. Instead, Scales draws a couple. Harshawn, defense swarms to her. 8 to shoot. Need a bucket. Out of the corner. Vieira. Too long on the 3, and no one there for the Eckerd rebound.
And that's Tampa has stepped up the defense here in the last few minutes. They have made it very difficult for the Tritons to get any good look at the basket, no matter where they are on the floor.
More than 3 minutes without a field goal for the Tritons. 0 of their last 5 from the floor. In the air for Ramsey, back rim, high carom, contested. And it was thrown off Vieira, but Mayacheski had a foot on the line first. Eckerd basketball.
Yeah, with just inside 4 minutes to go, the Tritons obviously can't afford any more empty possessions. Got to find a way to put some points on the board.
Tritons roll it in, Vieira scoops it up. Looks right, then left. Harshawn with the 3. Needed it. Brings it to single digits. Got to pick up full court. Here comes the trap quickly out of the hands. Spartans keep it moving quick. Kin handles in the open floor. Now she's used up her dribble. Throws it back out to midcourt. Harshawn with 18 for the Tritons. Mayacheski looked at the rim, enters for Kin. Triple team comes. Vieira knocks it loose.
Yeah, brought the double and then the triple team much earlier.
Scales, feet set, 3 on the way. Got it! 65-59.
For some reason, Gusto sagged off of her and left her open.
Not sure why. Einersdottir. Kin gets the roll.
Yeah, but good job by Einersdottir. Contest but not foul there and give the easy 3-point play.
67-59. Einersdottir loads up. 3 on the way. 3 in the net! Timeout Eckerd! Back within 5 with 2:45 to go. The Tritons with 3 straight 3-point makes to close the gap. It's still in it with 2:45 left.
Sometimes that's how 3-point shooting goes. It can be streaky. You can go through cold spells and you can go through hot spells. Tritons have picked a pretty good time to find one of those hot spells to get back within 5. The problem now is, Eckerd's full court pressure has become less effective. Tampa's done a really good job of breaking it, so I don't know if we'll see Coach Hahn Sr. stay in that full court pressure out of this timeout. I'll go back to that half court zone trap that's out of the 2-3 that seemed to work pretty well in the second quarter.
That's what I was thinking. If there's, maybe that's the option, or, if there is one more wrinkle left to deploy, throw it out there now or take it with you.
Yep. Amanda Green just told us that they're having some trouble, Nate, with the score bug on the broadcast. So we're going to give the score in time more often than we normally would.
I'm a radio broadcaster by trade. I probably do it too much already. 2:42 to go after that ball off of Triton's leg. That's a good spot to put a trap on, but there's 3 Tritons around the ball, which means there's somewhere to go with it. Vieira has 3 fouls, recovers but does not foul. 2.5 minutes to go in the game.
And you can bet the Spartans are going to milk the clock for every second they can now.
9 to shoot. Mayacheski. 5 to shoot. Around for Ramsey. Has to get up. Only 1 to shoot. Needs to draw a rim. Doesn't. 2:13 to go. Eckerd with the ball, down 5.
That's a 2-possession game. We talked about it earlier that when Eckerd went down by double digits, you don't have to take the lead, but as you get near the end of the game, I'd said inside 5, but now as we get close to 2, just within 2 possessions, you give yourself a chance.
Tritons roll it all the way into the front court. But it's poked free, stolen from Scales. She commits a foul. It's only the first Eckerd foul committed in this quarter. So, for the Tritons, you might want to cheat a little harder for steals here because you're going to need fouls potentially at the end in order to send Tampa to the line. You don't want Vieira to be the one giving them. Einer's daughter either. Open look, Macheski passes it up. Inside of 2 minutes in a 5-point game. That steal by Tampa, tremendously important. 12 to shoot. Jones looking for a post entry for Ken. Can't find it. Ramsey fires a straight on 3. Didn't hit anything. It's over to Eckerd.
In these last few possessions, again, we talk about Tampa wanting to milk the clock because the clock is in their favor. But one thing I think that is done to their detriment, it's gotten them out of that offensive rhythm that had been so productive for much of the game.
Vieira again ushers the ball into the front court. Wentworth comes to get it. Wentworth attacks off the dribble in a crowd. That had to have been off Tampa. There was 3.
I don't know if they touched it or not, but Eckerd may have gotten the call because where that ball went was nowhere near an Eckerd player. Coach Jesse asking who touched it.
Altogether, sort of a weird play.
And is this a play you can look at? Looks like they are.
It is a play you can look at. Knowing what the angles are here, I can't imagine how they could overturn it. To me, it seemed fairly certain it was touched by Tampa, the way the ball redirected out over the baseline like that. Wentworth was trying to throw the ball to the corner.
Yeah, I guess the only Tampa could make the argument that the ball went so far offline because Wentworth never had a good handle on it.
Check out their website at impactsurface.com. And the Dolphin Beach Resort located directly in St. Pete Beach is the picture-perfect getaway destination for your next visit. Visit their website at www.dolphinbeach.com for more information.
So again, the play is under review at the scorer's table. 91 seconds left on the clock. Eckerd is down 5, tentatively with the basketball.
And I don't think we've mentioned this, Nate, in the broadcast, that at Barry on Saturday, Hannah Wentworth became the program's all-time leader in most three-pointers made in a season.
No, we had not mentioned that yet because we were scrambling to get on the air.
Through no fault of Eckerd, through us getting here right at game time. No technical difficulties, just broadcaster arrival difficulties.
And meanwhile, after this game concludes, we'll have the men's game between these two teams, which Daniel Love is 19 points shy of the 1,000-point mark for his career. 802 of those have come since he transferred to Eckerd.
Of course, Triton's on the road this weekend on Saturday. Just not
and
on
they
the
give it
broadcast.
to Tampa.
Wow. Tough break. Tough break, but they clearly saw enough video evidence to overturn it.
So the Tritons bring the pressure. Tampa able to get it ahead. Vieira races in, commits the foul. Shot not good, but Jones goes to the line.
Yeah, that's, in this, you want a foul, but in that situation, she had gotten, Jones had gotten so deep, any kind of foul wasn't going to alter the shot. Fortunate that didn't go in.
And the free throw good, makes it a 6-point game. Four fouls on Vieira. 3-possession game, 80 seconds left. 69-62.
Yeah, got to get points on this one.
Heinersdottir needs it. Got it! Timeout Eckerd, 69-65 with 69 seconds to go.
Yeah, Raga had a cold stretch after knocking down her first three for most of the game up to her last two. That's a well-designed play, though, with the isolation of the point guard, in that case Scales working off a screen at the top, and then after the screen, Heinersdottir popping back behind the arc. It worked. That's a matter of fact how she knocked down her first three of the game. Got wide open there and came up with the clutch shot.
Tritons have hit 4 threes in a row here in the fourth quarter.
But the key now is you got to get a stop. Still a 2-possession game, but Eckerd's got to find a way to get a stop on the other end. We do have 2 fouls to give still.
Tampa led by a game-high 13 points, 65-52. The Tritons have gone on a 13-4 run to give themselves a chance.
And you'd said this earlier, and I agree with this. In the 7 years I've been here watching Eckerd basketball and our opponents, I think this is the best Tampa team that I've seen. They've had some great teams and some great players, but I just think this team's overall depth. And there's no weak spots on the floor at any point. Any player on the floor can create offensively, and they're all good defenders.
I mean, it was a fitting year because with Price, this was certainly, I think, the best Eckerd team I had seen, and the best Tampa team as well. They are well-suited adversaries for one another. Game in Tampa ended on a buzzer-beater win for the Spartans. Into the final minute, Tritons down by 4, and Vieira
why,
fouled
Lauren?
out.
Yeah, and boy, you got to know that you got 4 fouls at that point, and not even give the officials an opportunity to call a 5th on you. Lauren, you saw her reaction. She couldn't believe it was called on her, and you could argue whether it was a foul or wasn't a foul, but you just can't put the officials in a position to give them a chance to make that call when you've got 4.
It is the 3rd foul against the Tritons in the quarter. 56 seconds to go. Each team with 2 timeouts left. Tritons swarm to the basketball. 12 on the shot clock. Gusto, long way from the basket. Ramsey drives inside the arc. Blocked by Heinersdottir. Jump ball, gives it to Eckerd with 40.3.
All right, there's the stop. There's the stop you needed.
Need a score to make it a 1-possession game. Harshawn rolls it in. Scales picks it up as Ramsey comes up to challenge in the backcourt. This time the defense stays with Heinersdottir on the pop. Has trouble with the handle. Long 3 for Scales! Buries it! It's a 1-point game! 27.2 left.
Well, That play kind of broke down, and you called it. They tried to run that same play again on that screen at the free throw line to get Einersdottir open for the three-pointer top of the key. Tampa saw it, switched it, kind of broke the play up because Eckerd seemed like it wasn't sure what it wanted to do from that point. So Scales on the O, and Tritons said, I'm just going to let it fly.
The Tritons, 5 of their last 5 from the floor. 69-68, Tampa in front. Now the Tritons, again, still have 1 foul to give. There's 27.2 seconds left on the clock. So you're going to have to go for steals.
Yeah, but
and potentially foul twice.
But even most likely here, you're going to have an opportunity to tie with the last possession, because I can't imagine if you're Tampa, you're going to take a three-point shot in this situation. So if you can't get a steal, even if Tampa makes a 2, unless they do it really late, they do have the option. Eckerd is going to have to foul at some point and put them at the line, of course, now that I look, the shot clock's actually off. But you're going to have an opportunity, most likely, if you're Eckerd, to come down and at least tie the game on the final possession.
Vieira fouled out with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. No one else for the Tritons has even 3 fouls. Tampa uses the opportunity of that timeout to advance the ball, deflected, loose briefly. Jones is fouled.
Oh, man. That ball batted around for a little bit like a ping pong ball, and it could have gone either way.
Wentworth second. That is not the end of the world by any means.
Again, Eckerd not defending the inbound pass as far as the passer goes.
They'll foul Mayacheski. Sorry, Marcheski, sorry. Foul goes on Rimdahl, her third. This team has certainly lived up to the billing. The free throw misses. Tampa has fouls to give defensively. They both miss, but Kin with the rebound offensively, and the Tritons are forced to foul again. That is a prime time play by Kin.
Only 3 offensive rebounds in the game for Tampa, but that third one came at the absolute best time for the Spartans.
Another free throw missed.
Okay, you got to get, if she misses here, you cannot give up another offensive rebound. You got to get the block out on Kin.
They do. The free throw is good. Timeout is called by Eckerd. 70-68. Tampa in front.
What a game. And what an effort by the Tritons to come back from 13 down in the fourth quarter. Offense had stalled out. But Eckerd, that's one of the things about the Tritons. You watch them there, no matter the situation, Eckerd stays calm. Never seems to lose composure. They trust in the game plan. They trust in what they prepared to do. They stick with it, and it's at the very least given Eckerd an opportunity to win the game on the final possession. Just like last time when it came down to the final possession at Tampa. But Tampa had the last possession and made good on it.
Well, that's not to say for sure. Nothing to say for sure that Eckerd runs this down and tries for the last shot. They could go for the tie quickly. They could go for the lead quickly. They could.
Yeah, I don't know if you just take what the defense gives you. I can't imagine. A Tampa defense generally doesn't give you much at any point in the game.
Eckerd advances the ball off the timeout.
Triton. Both teams do have 1 timeout left to advance the ball if necessary.
Scales calls for the screen, dribbles away from it. It's not there for her. Dribbles back up front. Wentworth, left side, entry. Parshawn, contact. She'll go to the line just as she did with 5 seconds left against Tampa on January 14th. In that game, it was a 1-point game. She sank 2 for the lead.
Interesting.
Needs 2 for the tie this time.
Interesting to attack so early in the clock, but I see what Coach Hansinger's doing. Let's see if it pays off.
First is good.
You know, if she makes the second, you expect Tampa will call timeout to advance, and then Eckerd may have the opportunity to try to foul who they want to foul.
Well, they wouldn't have to. It's good. It's a tie game.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Tie game.
And Tampa will try to win at the buzzer in regulation again.
Sorry, I'm not good at math.
To it.
Math's not always my strong suit.
The Tritons were down 65-52 and have gone on an 18-5 run that included 5 made three-pointers. Well, Tampa's last basket was 2 minutes, 47 seconds ago. Their next one would win the game if it comes in the next 11 seconds.
How heartbreaking would it be?
Could.
How heartbreaking would it be if Eckerd loses twice to the Spartans in the regular season on last-second shots?
It would be simply agonizing.
Now, it was Sullivan who had the buzzer beater at Tampa. She's back on the floor.
Has not played much of this second half. A zone look from the Tritons, 6 seconds. Gusto for 3. Off the front rim. It's loose. Tritons with it. Overtime!
Wow.
70-70. What a game.
It is, but man, how big now does that 5th foul on Vieira come into play that we're going to have 5 more minutes of basketball?
Took what it took
to
get to this.
It did. It took what it took. It is just a shame because, again, the foul in that situation is one where she didn't necessarily have to foul, especially she had another team out there that could have fouled. And I don't think she was intending to foul. She just got called for too much body. But having her off the floor for the last 5 minutes will change how Eckerd's approach will be. But we've seen it before. The Tritons executed some of this, a portion of this comeback with Vieira on the bench.
In terms of the rest of the foul situation, no one for Tampa has more than 3. That is Ramsey. Vieira has fouled out for Eckerd. Wentworth and Rimdahl each have 3. No one else with more than 2. Parshawn only has 1, which could be critical because I expect we're going to see her trying to attack quite a bit in this 5-minute overtime period.
And Ken was just about unstoppable in the second half, so we'll see if Eckerd starts doubling her and tripling her earlier in the half court when she gets a catch.
Einersdottir and Ken to jump it up in the middle. 70-70 after 40 minutes.
I'll say this, if you had told me coming into this game that either team had scored 70, I would have said the team that scored 70 won the game.
I'd have said the team by 70 might have won by double digits after how that first game went. Ken smashes the ball back into the backcourt, and Ramsey runs it down for the Spartans. Each team gets an extra timeout added on for overtime. So Tampa has 1, Eckerd has 2. Ramsey uses up her dribble. Gusto, Ken inside, double team, comes and Scales steals it. Tampa still has a foul to give. The Tritons do not. The foul situation from the fourth quarter carries over. Jumper, rims around, out, tied up, and Eckerd keeps possession as Rimdahl ties up Ken.
What a play by Rimdahl. Rimdahl's been quiet today, but that was a huge play to keep the possession alive for Eckerd. Tough break for Parshawn, too. That ball hit every part of the rim and then came out.
Baseline right, Scales, inbounding, looking for anywhere to go. Throws it out top. That's Parshawn again. Hits the 3. She's got 23. .73-70, Eckerd in front. Long way to go in overtime. Sullivan. Open look, Jones. Rims around, rattles around. No, and a great box out underneath by Einersdottir. She pinned Ken to the baseline.
And that ball hit every part of the rim. It didn't go down.
Parshawn crosses over Ramsey, takes her right to the rim and scores.
That's a good matchup for Parshawn. She's got a size advantage over Ramsey, who was able to use it there to get to the basket.
75-70 Eckerd. That is knocked free. It's loose on the floor. Picked up by Jones. Knocked free again, but a foul on the reach.
Yeah, got knocked down from behind. A little unfortunate for Eckerd because Jones got a bit out of control going to the basket. I think she might have lost the handle on that one had she not been fouled anyway. 4
fouls on Rimdahl. This gives us just a chance. We didn't really get a chance how frenetic things were. What great defense by Eckerd to force a Gusto long 3 on the last shot of regulation.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had to live with anything, you live with that.
Yeah, I know that's certainly not the shot Tampa had wanted. And Gusto's a good shooter. I mean, she can shoot that ball, but in that point in the game, giving up the 3-point, the 3-pointer is not what Tampa was looking for.
Jones makes both free throws, 75-72 Eckerd, 3.5 minutes to go. Scales fakes the handoff. Harshawn has scored all 5 Eckerd points in this overtime. Rimdahl in the lane with the floater. Her first points of the game. (77-72). This has been a heavyweight fight between 2 of the nation's top 10 teams. Under 3 minutes to go in overtime. Ramsey, Ken, scores.
What a tough catch and shot for Ken.
Makes it a 1-possession game again. You don't have to roll it in now if you're Eckerd.
No, the clock's still ticking. Shot clock didn't start, though, until she picked it up.
Right. Scales nearly turns it over. Ball loose on the floor. Tie up Tampa.
This is one of those games, Nate, that you hate that one of these teams has to lose. They both played very good basketball tonight. It's been everything that you would expect a top 10 matchup to be. Maybe the team that loses should get like just half a loss in the standings.
I mean, this is not to discredit the rest of the conference and certainly not Nova Southeastern or Lynn at all. But if there's any doubt who the top 2 teams in this conference are, I don't know what season you've watched. These are far and away the 2 best teams in the conference. Gusto had a look. Ramsey has a look and ties the game at 77.
Yeah, good ball movement.
Under 2 minutes to go in overtime. Harshawn around the screen, short jumper, well short. Ball springs free and stays with Eckerd. And meanwhile, there are players down on the floor. Wentworth and I believe Ramsey.
Yeah, both slow to get up. They collided going for that loose ball. Wentworth the first to get up. Looks like she's okay. I think Ramsey may have gotten the worst of it. Looks like she's up too. Maybe a little sore tomorrow. But great hustle by both of those players.
You would hate to see either come out at this point. Tom Jesse is lobbying for possession to be reviewed, but all 3 officials have seemed pretty insistent in possession.
Wentworth's going to have to come out. Wonder if she's got blood on her. Yeah, I think maybe not. I thought the official was signaling that Wentworth went to Coach Hunsinger to indicate that Wentworth had to come out. But she's not being checked for anything at the bench either.
Minute 46 to go. Eckerd ball, 20 on the shot clock. Wentworth goes right back to the scorer's table. In a crowd, Harshawn is stripped. Tampa touched it last, stays with Eckerd. 11 to shoot, and Wentworth back in.
The way that Eckerd's been double teaming Ken on her catches, I think you're going to start seeing Tampa do that now on Harshawn's drives.
Comes into Harshawn, left of the lane. They don't double team, and she scores!
I'm surprised they didn't. I mean, again, working one-on-one with Ramsey, she's got the size advantage. I don't think there's much Ramsey can do defensively to keep her from getting to the basket. Now Eckerd needs to stop.
A minute 20 to go, 79-77 Eckerd. Gusto around Kin's screen. Nothing there. And got hit on the head on an off-balance leaner.
Well, let's hope
on second.
That Parsh, okay, so let's hope that's not a rim doll, because that would be 5 on her. And she's the only other Triton that's really in foul trouble right now. Wentworth's got 3.
First free throw good. It's a 1-point game. Got them both. $79-79. 70-70 after 4 quarters. Still no open look for Wentworth here. Double team comes. Einer's daughter. And Rimdahl fouls out in the rebounding action and free throws for Sullivan at the other end.
Yeah, that's not where you want to pick up your 5th foul. Sullivan had good position. You gain nothing by doing that.
Corzane will have to check in for Rimdahl.
Coach Hunsinger using his full allotted 15 seconds now. You rarely see that happen anymore.
53.2 seconds remaining.
He's unhappy with something and letting the official, letting it be known to the official on the far sideline.
Tampa takes the lead for the first time in the overtime period at 80-79. Both are good. 81-79. Parshawn, a challenged catch. Looking for an outlet. Einer's daughter inside, it doesn't go!
Oh, man, point blank range. It hung on the rim and wouldn't fall.
Only a 7-second difference to shot clock to game clock. Titans do have a timeout to advance, but they need to get the ball back one way or another. Getting it back off a made shot does not help them. 6 to shoot. Sullivan could have been an offensive foul. Instead, they'll get the defensive foul. She extended the elbow out there and then leaned in for the shot and gets the call.
I didn't see a lot of contact on that either way. This is big now. 2 free throws made, and Tritons will be behind the 8 ball.
First is a miss.
Got to block out and grab the rebound if she misses here.
Second is a make. Timeout Eckerd to advance the ball.
It's a 30-second timeout.
82-79, 9.6 seconds remaining.
Well, no question what kind of shot Eckerd's got to get here. Although, with one timeout left for the Tritons, you know, if you could get a quick 2, then foul on the end and foul quickly.
If Tampa
you could consider that as an option.
If Tampa will concede the 2, you can do it.
Yeah, right. If Tampa concedes the 2.
I mean, you're bringing a lot into play though that can happen. If you go for the 2 and miss it, the game's over.
Yeah.
Same way
When I say a 2, I'm
3.
talking about like at the basket. I don't mean from 15 feet.
But then you got to get the foul. You got to, either the free throws get made or they don't.
Well, the advantage is, I mean, Tampa's got a timeout, so they'll call it and advance it, and you could foul on the inbound pass even before the ball comes in to keep the clock from moving. or as soon as it comes in. So yeah, it just depends on how quickly I suppose you can get that to, if you want to take that option. Eckerd's got 5 players on the floor who can all shoot the three.
Perzane in quick for Scales. She goes at the rim to see. Did Tampa give the foul? They say Scales stepped on the baseline, and that's effectively going to end it.
She was pretty deep there. I mean, we were blocked off on that baseline drive, but that's one of the things the official is going to keep a close eye on that baseline drive. So I certainly don't doubt the accuracy of that call. Just an unfortunate way for this one to most likely. It's not over yet, but it's awfully close. Of course, the last time I said that was on our men's home opener last year against West Alabama, and you remember how that ended up.
82-79, Tampa leads Eckerd in overtime. Tritons came back from down 13 late in the fourth quarter. Had a 5-point lead early in this overtime period. But a resilient Tampa team on their way to escaping the MacArthur Center with a win.
Again, quick foul important, obviously, here. But just one made free throw essentially ends the game. Now there's the foul before the inbound pass that we wanted to keep the clock from ticking.
And your foul number 2 is Sophia Punch, and her third.
Marshawn's third foul.
Ramsey 1 of 2 from the line today. All 5 Tampa starters in double figures. And she's got 18.
Free throw good. Makes it a 2-possession game. Got them both. Eckerd calls timeout to advance it, but with under 6 seconds to play, Spartans are gonna get out of here with this one. What a spirited effort by the Tritons. Parshawn with 27. Scales with 14. Einersdottir 15. Vieira fouled out quite some time ago at 14 points.
Yeah, I know if you're an Eckerd person like we are, it's hard not to play the what if game. You know, with obviously Maya Price being out for the season, but you can't play that game right now. This is you got to play the hand you're dealt. And Eckerd's played a fantastic game here, stayed resilient even after falling down by 13. Just didn't quite have enough to get over the hump against a very talented Tampa team.
Perzane in front of the Tritons bench to trigger it in. Lob inside, tough catch. Parshawn lost it out of bounds, and that'll do it. 4.7 seconds to go. I'm sure the Tritons will call off the dog. Well, he won't call off the dog, so slap some full court pressure on, but it comes in. Jones. And the final seconds run off the clock in overtime. Tampa 84, Eckerd 79. A fun one between 2 top 10 teams in the country, certainly the top 2 teams in the Sunshine State Conference. Tampa improves to 24-1 on the season, while Eckerd slips to 20-4 with 3 losses against top 3 teams.
Yeah, I mean, certainly nothing to be ashamed of. And right now, Coach Tom Jesse has stopped to talk to Maya Price for just a little bit. I'm sure telling her how much he hated having to play against her during her career at Eckerd. So class act there by Coach Tom Jesse, just to pay his respects, so to speak, to Maya after her fantastic Eckerd career. But even though it's a loss, the Tritons can take a lot from this, Nate, to realize you can take the best shots that Tampa's got to give you, even not at full strength, and still have opportunities to win the game.
Now again, Eckerd weathered a 60% shooting performance from Tampa in the first half. They were down a game-high 13 with just over 5 minutes to go. Battled their way back out of it. At one point made 5 consecutive three-point shots that they sorely needed in order to claw their way back into it. Ultimately, in overtime, Tampa ends the game on a 12-2 run over the final couple of minutes. And I'm lucky enough now to be joined in the postgame show by head coach Paul Honsinger after a hard-fought but ultimately a loss for the Tritons, 84-79. Coach, your team left it all on the floor tonight.
Yeah, I'm really proud of our team. We played really, really hard, executed well, hit some big shots there in the second half. Nicole's deep one when we really didn't have anything going really kind of sparked us and sparked the team to push that to overtime.
Let's start there. Your team's down 13 points with about 5:09 to go. Claws all the way back from that. You know, really, it's a desperation point where you can't afford to give up anything else at that end and need pretty much everything to fall. You know, what do you tell your team to approach in a situation like that?
Well, I thought our zone knocked them off balance a little bit, and that helped us tonight for sure. And when we were switching defenses, it kept them off balance. They started missing some shots finally. I mean, the first half was remarkable. They hit everything, 70% going in at halftime. I knew they would cool off. I knew that, and they cooled off at the right time for us. And conversely, we heated up as they cooled down. That's what gave us our run.
That's the next place I wanted to go. Is that first half, everything was falling for Tampa. They were 50% from three, 70% from the floor. Even right before half, that tough leaner that fell just seemed like everything was going to go down for the Spartans. How do you keep your team engaged when, even if you're playing good defense, sometimes shots fall like that? You know, how do you keep them from getting frustrated and getting out of the game plan?
Yeah, and every timeout we had, every stoppage of play, certainly at halftime, it was nothing but encouragement because, I felt like we were playing good defense. We had a high hand on some of those shots. They were just players making really tough plays, and they were hitting shots. And if you're facing a team and they're 70% from the field at halftime and you're still a 3-possession game, you're right in it. And that's what I kept saying to our team. And look, I've been on the flip side of that where our team has gone in. I remember a game at Barry some years ago. We were 72% from the field at halftime, and it was a 3-possession game. And I was worried because I'm thinking, man, that's about as good as we can play, and that team is still right here with us. So I'm just really proud of our team for gutting it out tonight, making some big plays. It's disappointing that we didn't get more there in the overtime. We started out great, I think, on a 5-0 run there to start the overtime, and just some really costly turnovers. You know, they airballed 2 shots late. We turned it over twice, and then we step out of bounds there at the end line when we had a good open look on the weak side kick out, and that's disappointing that we turned the ball over like that. Yeah.
Just a couple more questions. One is that last possession of regulation defensively, 12 seconds left when Tampa gets the ball back. They advance the ball off the timeout. Yeah. Your team was able to force a long 3. What went right, and what were you telling your team in that timeout defensively that allowed you to force that look?
It was the same exact option we had at Tampa. We were up 1 at Tampa. They had the ball with 5 seconds to play, called the timeout, got it at half court. And I was a little bit kicking myself at the end of that game. Granted, it took a miracle shot when the girl fell on the floor, but they do make plays like that. So I was kicking myself that we had not zoned and tried to knock them off balance and catch them by surprise. I think we did that tonight. They drew up their play. They had their personnel set. I decided to be the wiser, learning from last game out. And we went zone, and it did force a much deeper look, which was good for us.
And last question, the SSC is always one of the premier conferences in the country, but a game like tonight, Tampa ranked 3rd in the country. Your team comes in, toughest schedule in the country, ranked number 7, still up until this point and managed to keep piling up the wins even since Maya Price went down. What does it mean to you to see just truly a premier matchup in this conference and your team be one of the ones really raising that bar to put the conference in the national spotlight?
Yeah, I love that. I love the position we're in right now here on the year. The season as a whole has been tremendous. This isn't a bad loss for us. This is a hard-fought loss, just like it was at Tampa. So, when you're in overtime games and one-possession games, both of us as coaches know that can go your direction sometimes and not your direction sometimes. So, we could easily be sitting on just 2 losses on the year. We could be much higher ranked nationally and everything else, but we're not. We did not make the plays tonight enough anyway. But I am proud of the overall body of work of our team, our program. I like where we're positioned here late in the year. We still have some tough conference games coming up. We've got to go on the road now to Rollins and then come right back here and play Nova, who's a really tough team as well. So, it's going to be really curious to see how everything irons out with the regional rankings and where we stand.
Thank you so much, Coach, for joining us, and let your team know what a darn pleasure it is to watch them fight the way they did tonight.
I appreciate it, Nate. Thank you.
Once again, that was head coach Paul Honsinger. Tampa 84, Eckerd 79 in overtime, our final score tonight. A true heavyweight fight of top 10 teams perched atop the SSC. Sophia Parshon led the way for the Tritons with 27 points. Sydney Kinn had 24 points and 13 rebounds for Tampa, who ultimately emerged with a 5-point win. Thank you so much for tuning in for tonight's women's game. The men are warming up on the court. That is a tough, tight, exciting matchup of another kind as both teams are fighting for the 8th and final spot in the Sunshine State Conference playoffs. We'll be back in about 25 minutes with starting lineups and the tip for the men's game. You're watching the SSC Digital Network.